So, are you selfish in your marriage or just self-centered? Yes, there is a difference, and yes, it does matter which one you are. I'm Lesli Dories, your marriage coach, creator of the Hero Husband Project, and owner of Foundations Coaching. And to me, selfish means that you're going to do what you want to do regardless of its impact on other people, even if you know that that impact isn't great. Self-centered, on the other hand, is wanting things your way. And guess what? If that's you, you're human, because we all want things our way. Now, the trouble comes in is when you push to have things your way and your wife pushes to have things her way. And this is truly the source of every single issue, well, almost every single issue in your relationship. Because the way forward is to figure out a way that both of you feel heard, seen, valued, loved, and respected, which means there needs to be some flexibility. Now, if one of you truly doesn't care how something is done, then the one it matters to, great, do it that way. But the challenge comes in when you each want your own way, and what you do is you just end up turning this whole thing into a tug of war. And you don't want to be at war with your partner. Now, some people deal with this by folding like a cheap suit and just letting resentment build. And by the way, that can be either party. The alternative isn't to sit down and hash it out and try to bulldoze over your partner, because that's not going to work either. Marriage, to quote Joseph Barth, marriage is our last best chance to grow up, which means being able to make room for somebody else. Now, we do this with our kids when they're infants because we don't really have any choice, right? We are responsible for taking care of them. And the difference between our partners and our kids is with our kids, we actually mostly get to do it our way. We actually teach them, right? I fold towels the way my mother folded towels. My husband folds towels the way his mother folded towels, which is right. Neither one, right? I think my way was more efficient, but the towels are folded and put away, so really, am I going to get upset about it? Not really, right? But we tend to do things the way we were taught because that's our normal, especially if it works for us. But our partner is doing the same thing, and if we want to live in peace and harmony for an extended period of time, then what we need to do is not compromise, because that's a disaster, but to negotiate, to figure out what is the end goal and what's the best way of getting there, which means letting go of our way, of my way, of your way. We need to create an our way, right? We need to create a way that both of us can embrace. And this is where all of the challenges come in, because a lot of people don't know how to do that, right? They want their partner to justify why their way is better. It's like, it's not necessarily right, wrong, better, or worse. It's the way they were taught. It's what works for them. It may not work for you. And so being able to have these conversations about what's the end goal and what's the best way to get there, and how do we do it in a way that both of us feel good about. And this is the key behind negotiation, not behind concession, which is agreeing to something you don't agree to, because that's not a good thing, and people do it all the time, and I try to tell you it's not going to work. So I have a challenge for you. Where do you dig in your heels and think that your way is the best and try to correct or help your partner to see it your way, versus where can you be flexible and see that there are multiple ways of doing things? I used to ask people, how many different ways from your house to my office are there? There's the fastest way, there's the most direct way, there's the scenic way. There's all different kinds of ways. There's really only one way to do anything. And so when you can accept that and recognize that your way is just one of the multitudinous ways to do something, and that gives you guys the opportunity to really reach resolution and to stop the tension, the resentment, the pushback. All of these things will die down, but it starts with your flexibility. So if you need some help with that, I invite you to please get in touch with me. You can direct message me. You can send me an email at leslie@foundationscoachingnc.com. But the thing is you don't want to continue this really unproductive way of being in a relationship. So I hope you found that helpful. And until next week, stay loving.